rush the passer, the struggle to get consistent pressure on the passer, finish with sacks, all of them. It's a nice way for them to kind of maybe finish off this game. Don't just go for sacks, go for turnovers. Because that, in the end, is what makes.
What's going on, family? This is another episode of On the Mark with your boy Marcus Washington, where we talk everything Falcons football. And let me get this out of the way first. I owe a player an apology. I said last year that you can insert anybody into an offense built like that and they would win games. So let me apologize to Brock Purdy. Because after watching this game, what I'm about to say, I wholeheartedly believe at this point. If Desmond Ridder is starting next week, Arthur Smith needs to be fired at the end of the season for negligence. It's clear this boy ain't ready. It is absolutely, the man can't read defenses. One of the picks that he threw, it was literally the same coverage that Green Bay showed where the dude dropped the ball. That was a pick six too. It's like, at this point, it's negligent. Everybody sees this. This kid is not ready. This is no knock. This is no knock on Desmond Ridder. He's not ready. And the audacity for the coach to have the type of ego that he did to only play Desmond Ridder one series in the preseason. knowing this boy needed work. Now Desmond Ridder has not had a good game since he's been the starter. We're listening to commentators say, well, we see Desmond Ridder, he's done some good things. Man, dude, we ain't trying to hear that this year. This is not a rebuild. When you spend that much money on defense, when you give McGarry a contract, when you give Lindstrom a contract, when you have 3 studs on rookie deals, you bring in another tight end in Jonnu Smith, who was a bright spot in this game. You don't got time to be bringing a quarterback along, and this is after you paid your backup $20 million. Why ain't we seeing him at this point? It is absolute negligence if Arthur Smith starts this boy next week. Last week we had 6 points. This week we're a little bit better. We had 7. Arthur Smith is on the hot seat with me. This is why. Your first year, you got Kyle Pitts. We see what Kyle Pitts can do based on what Matt Ryan did with him his first year here. And we didn't have no receivers. Now we got receivers on the left and the right, and you can't find Kyle Pitts. But you drafted him 4. Had your back on that one. Next year, you followed it up. Draft Drake London at 8. Had your back right there. This year, you draft Bijan Robinson. Had your back there. Here's the problem. Why are you drafting guys you don't use? Bro, how did Kyle Pitts man, I don't understand how Kyle Pitts just disappeared in this offense. But we officially have a quarterback problem. And I said this week 1. When we won week 1, I said this pass game is trash. But Desmond is not ready. He's not ready. It's clear at this point. He's not ready. So you have to bench him. Here's another reason why. I saw Mac Hollins on the sidelines about to steal on Desmond Ridder. The boy about to lose the locker room. So if you start Desmond Ridder next week, I can almost guarantee you we're going to have a Zach Wilson situation going on where these players going to start getting vocal. Fan base already calling for Heineke at this point because what you got to lose? But at this point, there's nothing Desmond Ridder does better than Taylor Heineke. I would argue Taylor Heineke has more playmaking ability. And then here's another problem. You're paying the guy $10 million a year. Why is Desmond Ridder still starting at this point? There's no shame in saying, you know what? We've decided to go another direction with Taylor Heineke. You do not have to prove Desmond Ridder's pick. You did not pick Desmond Ridder high. It's not like Trevor Lawrence where he went number 1 and you just feel like I'm compelled to start this guy. Zach Wilson was what, number 2, number 3? And that man got put on the bench for Mike White. The crowd was calling for Mike White. They had Mike White shirts on, bro. If Arthur Smith starts this boy next week, he should get fired for negligence at the end of the year. Period. Because that's ego talking at this point. He did this with Marcus Mariota. He kept Marcus Mariota as the start 4 games too long. If we gonna lose, I'd rather lose with a guy that's getting paid $10 million a year. because this is no knock on Desmond. Desmond's not ready. And at best, Desmond's probably a backup quarterback in this league. But he's clearly not ready right now. But bruh, 7 points? And people wonder why our offense isn't doing anything now. Look at how these defenses are setting up. Y'all gonna have to run the ball. We don't believe this boy can beat us. He can't throw a consistent deep ball. He's still throwing behind guys. The play that he finally hit Pitts on, he had a guy running open for a touchdown. I mean, I'm sitting, even in a completion, I'm sitting here like Mekhi Phifer and paid in full with a cigarette, bro. You cannot justify starting Desmond Ridder next week. You can't. You can't. It's early in the season. We're not the Chicago Bears, where we gotta rebuild on a couple things. The defense only gave up 1 touchdown. They gave up some field goals, and then Desmond Ridder gave them another touchdown. Should have been 2 pick sixes, to be honest. But you can't sit there and say, well, you know, we saw some good things. Man, bro, that's what you say when you're rebuilding a team. That's what the Houston Texans can say. But you know, we had some good plays, but you know, bro, y'all spent $100 million on the defense. Y'all gave boys big boy contracts in the offseason. Looking like ass. Jake Matthews gave up the damn edge on our last play on offense. Like, bro, come on, man. Come on. I'm telling you. Arthur Smith's play calling, I'm not escaping him either. 3rd and 1, and we passing with a guy you know can't pass? Bro, stop it. He's about as helter-skelter as his damn quarterback. 3rd and 1, you want to pass. But on the 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6, you want to run the ball. But where's the consistency on offense? Period. Now, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I said we just need Desmond Ridder to play like Kirk Cousins. If Desmond Ridder can play like Kirk Cousins, this would be a team. Ironically, there's talk about a Kirk Cousins trade. Atlanta, if that's the case, pull the damn trigger. Either that or start Heineke. I do not want to see Desmond Ridder anymore this year. He's not ready. I don't know what he did in the offseason. I don't know what he did in training camp. He damn sure didn't do nothing in the preseason because y'all only started him for 1 series. And y'all knew this boy was pure ass. Desmond Ridder should have started every single preseason game playing like this. This boy's playing like some absolute boo-boo. And it ain't all on him. But man, fam, I didn't wake up this morning excited that Desmond Ridder was a fam. Just like, I just hope we can run the damn ball. But it's the fans are calling for it now. I was on the Twitter. They calling for it now. Bro, it's so bad. Not only are the fans calling for it, America's calling for it. I saw a Jacksonville Jaguars fan say y'all need to bench Ridder. This how bad it is. The competition is telling us y'all need to bench your boy. Your boy gonna get y'all lost. Now, fam, we can't sit here and say, well, you know, it's only 8 games, 9 games. It's a small sample size. We could say that last year. But with an offseason, a camp, a preseason, and now 1, 2, 3, 4 games in, and we ain't pointed out the game where Desmond Ridder just took over. Chicago's pure hot garbage. But there have been games where you look at last year, there was like a 2 or 3 game stretch where you're like, man, Justin Fields, man, bruh, this guy going on a tear. We have yet to say that about Desmond Ridder. And mind you, I like Desmond Ridder, but it's clear the boy is not ready. So put in the guy you're paying $10 million for, or go trade for Kirk Cousins. Because at least the one thing we can say about Kirk Cousins is he's going to get Kyle Pitts the damn ball. Like he gets Jefferson the damn ball. Like he got Stephon Diggs the ball when he was there. Ridder ain't getting nobody the ball. And I almost feel bad for going in on him because this ain't even his fault. A competent coach would see in training camp, OTAs, yeah, you know what? This boy ain't ready. And honestly, I think they knew that. That's why they paid Taylor Heineke $20 million. But at this point, it should be him, Terry Fontenot need to have a serious conversation. And Terry need to tell him, listen, I ain't losing my job over you keeping this kid in there. So let's go ahead and put Taylor Heineke in. We lose. It is what it is, man. We'll just set up and draft a quarterback in the offseason. Or we'll go get a quarterback. Fam, I think if you put in Taylor Heineke now and we lose, I think that's easier to take at this point. Because we can just look at it and be like, yeah, we need a quarterback. And furthermore, you need to put Taylor Heineke in right now to see what you got, because there is a trade deadline. So if Kirk Cousins is an actual conversation to be had, let's bring in Kirk for a season and let's reload and get our quarterback for the future in the offseason. Because, bro, there's no way in hell this team should be scoring 7 points, bro. 6 last week. Ain't no way in hell. You got too many damn weapons, bro. I forgot Cordell Patterson was out there. But we already know what Desmond's gonna say. Desmond gonna start sounding like Matt Ryan. It's gonna start getting nauseating to people. But this boy about to lose the locker room, bro. Mac Hollins was about to steal on this dude. And he clearly missed him in the post. But he went over there and tried to dab Mac Hollins. Man, Mac Hollins got off that bench on him. This team is built to win now. This is not a damn rebuild team. But you got the most important position wetting the bed every week. And then we look at stats like, oh, he was 9 for 9 on third down. Who the hell cares? You scored 7 points. But Arthur need to get under the blade for this too. You're the head coach and you're the offensive play caller. Offenses look like cheeks, bruh. And you continue to keep this guy in. Man, when I was calling for Marcus Mariota to get benched, he kept that boy 4 games too long. Man, we were out of the NFC South by then. Then he said, well, hell, we might as well put in Desmond now. We were still in contention in the NFC South. He let Marcus Mariota play us straight out of it. And then put Desmond Ridder in there. So again, I think Arthur Smith's ego, Terry Fontenot is going to have to call the shot on this one. It's going to be the scene from Lean on Me. You know, when Joe Clark goes in there and talks to the school administration, the guy that's running the stuff, and Joe Clark was bad. The other dude had to tell him, contrary to popular belief, I'm the HNIC. Are you going to apologize to the music teacher, and he gonna have to pull one of them moves, dog. Because at this point, I'm looking at Terry Fontenot sideways with this dude. If this man starts next week, I'm looking at I'm looking at that whole front office sideways. Terry need to be talking to Arthur right now. You got to pull this boy. I'm looking at the fan base. Fan base is like, what the fuck? And I paid this boy behind him 10 a year. Go on ahead and put him in. Well, I think I can still work with. No, you can't. And I look at it as the fact that Desmond Ridder has not had a good game yet. Even in the wins. The pass game was cheeks week 1. Pass game got a bit better week 2, but we were running the ball. The only reason we got back in this game was because of that Stallion. That's the only reason. But I'm telling you, man, if I don't hear if I hear Desmond Ridder start next week, I'm on that train of Arthur Smith getting fired at the end of the year. Pure negligence. Just for pure negligence. Because you can't explain the start. What is he doing that's so great that you gotta continue to start him? You point to anything, I can look at Taylor Heineke and say, Taylor can do that. Taylor can throw a better ball too. Taylor's a better playmaker. And you're paying him $10 million a year. How are we justifying this at this point? And this, again, no knock on. This is no serious knock on Desmond. Desmond shouldn't be starting right now. So the positives, Bijan went absolutely nuts again. We saw Jonnu Smith get some work. Drake London got a tub in London. There was 1 or 2 Kyle Pitts sightings, and the defense played well enough to win this game. That's it. AJ Terrell got cooked again. They gave up another blown coverage touchdown. This is the second time in 2 weeks. But after that, they kind of stiffened up. But I'm not, that pass interference on AJ at the end, I ain't even going to put it on him. Because who would have thought that that ball was being thrown that way? I mean, you know, it is what it is. But let me get to some of these comments, man. I don't went off about 23 minutes. TN says, Smith is going to stick a Ridder because he's stubborn, but those groans are going to get louder. They're going to get louder until he's up out of here. I honestly, and in the post game is probably going on right now. He's probably being asked about, is there going to be a change at quarterback? He's probably already being asked about this. Because again, at this point, you can't even justify it because Desmond doesn't have a single good game to his credit where you can sit there and say, man, that boy carried that team. That boy carried the team on his back. Look at what Stroud is doing in Houston. We played him next. They lost last week, but the boy was getting busy. Look at what happened with Arizona against the Cowboys. Boy was getting loose. When we ever seen Ridder do this, bruh? Eldrick says outscored 43-13 in the past 2 weeks. Yeah, man. R. Robinson, what's going on? He says ATL has the weapons. You spend $20 million on Taylor and knowing Ridder is not it is damn crazy. And Arthur Blank needs to fire Arthur Smith and retire from being the owner of the team. Here's the thing, man. I think this has to be a Fontenot. This has to be a Fontenot call. Fontenot has to tell Arthur Smith, you know, you have to let this guy get on the bench. There's nothing wrong with it. We don't have to justify this pick. Listen, this is how easy this is. If Terry Fontenot goes in there and says, listen, if you bench Ritter right now, nobody's going to complain about it. That's about the easiest way to do this thing. Because right now, Ritter handling this offense is like watching Stevie Wonder drive a Ferrari down the street, bro. You know this ain't gonna go smooth. But this gotta be Terry. Because Arthur, I can assure you, Arthur's gonna allow Desmond Ritter to lose 5 or 6 more games before he puts Heineke in there. And then it's like, what the fuck for? 6 points, 7 points with this offense. Listen, Brock Purdy, I apologize. But I do mean what I say. If this man played similar to Kirk Cousins, both of these games were winnable. Jacksonville did not look great today. They had 1 touchdown. On offense, they had 1, and that was a blown coverage. They didn't look good. Last week, should have beat the Lions, but the Lions, I'm gonna give some credit to the Lions. Lions looking like dogs now. But we should have beat them too. We're getting off the slow starts, 3 and outs. And a lot of this is on Arthur with the play calling, bruh. But that's because he does not trust the quarterback. He doesn't. But on a 3rd and 1, really? You're going to go 5 wide on a 3rd and 1, bruh? When you got TA and you got Bijan. Again, man, you got to make the move right now. If you don't, I'm definitely going to be on the train of getting you up out of here in the offseason. I'm definitely going to be on, and I like Arthur Smith too, but brother, I'm about the logo. And taking L's like this is unacceptable, bro. Jacksonville was there to be beat. They ain't beat us since 2007. They were there. They walked in 1-3. They were there to get beat. You understand that? Hey, you say, nah, we gonna stick with this kid, man, and we just gonna throw caution into the wind, and we paying this guy $10 million a year, but we've seen some positives from this. Fuck that. Shard says, I think Smith needs to do what Quinn did and let someone else call the plays. Hey, man, that I kind of agree with you at this point, because some of these play calls are very, very suspect. And maybe, just maybe, this is a possibility too. Maybe Arthur Smith's only meant to be an offensive coordinator. Because we see it with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, y'all remember, Dan Quinn was our head coach. Dan Quinn was actually shopping for the groceries. And his defense, his last 2 years, were ranked dead last. And he was calling the defense dead last. It got so bad. The second to last year, it got so bad, he took his hands off the reins and let Raheem Morris and what's the boy's name? The guy we should have never let go. God damn it, I forgot his name. It got so bad, we had 2 guys calling defense because he couldn't. And then the year he got fired, he decided, well, you know what, I want to call the defense again. And he got his ass fired because he was that bad. But then he gets to Dallas, and all of a sudden they're talking head coach job for Dan Quinn. I'm like, for what? This man ain't drafting these players. You saw what he did in Atlanta. When the man had the grocery list, had the bread. No, it wasn't LaFleur on defense. I forget his name. It'll come to me in a minute. And he could walk in the store, call the draft, and get any player he wanted to. We saw Dan Quinn do that. What happened? Dead last on defense. And you know what? I'm not even going to shit on the players because it wasn't even them, because when he took his hands off the reins, the defense got immediately better. Jeff Ulbrich. Appreciate that, country boy. Appreciate that. And I hated Ulbrich wasn't able to stay on as DC. Ulbrich had them boys flying across the field. I remember when it was when Dan Quinn got fired. The next week we played the New Orleans Saints. Got 6 sacks. Six of them things on Drew Brees. The very next week. So you got to look at it, man. I think it's fool's gold giving Dan Quinn another opportunity at head coach, but this is the NFL. They recycle coaches, so whatever. This might be the situation with Arthur Smith. Now I'm gonna ride it out. If the boy does the right thing and benches Desmond Ridder, okay, we good now. Because it's the responsible thing to do. One, this kid's confidence is probably shot at this point. He knows people want him gone. He know it. Because he's probably being told that by the locker room. Locker room probably telling him he trash. Boy, when you got a guy getting up about to steal you on the sideline, bro, you know they talking about you in your face in the locker room. You got to know it. So you going to mess with this boy's confidence, and guess who he going to turn into? Zach Wilson. So if you want to do right by the team and you want to do right by this player, just simply say, hey, listen, Desmond, you're not ready yet. We're going to bench you. You know, get you a little more, you know, along with the game. We're going to start Heineke. And then in the offseason, trade him. I honestly don't want to see Desmond Ridder starting. Period. In a Falcons jersey. I like the kid, but man, I'm looking at future backup quarterback potential. I'm looking at the same career path as Marcus Mariota. The only difference is Marcus Mariota wasn't really given a lot of stuff early in his career. And we saw great games from Marcus Mariota, bruh. Caleb says, what pisses me off is Ritter's I'm the shit attitude. Watch him in press conferences and during the game. Boy, you ain't all that. He's got to have that confidence. Because you don't want to come out and show the world you're not confident. But man, some of these throws he's making, man, it's in double, sometimes triple coverage. He clearly can't read defenses, or the simplest defenses, the simplest concepts are messing with him. Now, I'm not that great at math, but if he threw the ball and 3 guys were in that vicinity, somebody open somewhere else. I know this because the first down he threw to Drake London, Matt Collins was open. Robinson says, should they get Justin Fields? I think Justin Fields would be a lot better off with the weapons that we have. Chicago has kind of done wrong by Justin Fields. Honestly, the guys they got in there, I think they got DJ Moore and Chase Claypool. They have been pathetic, to say the least. But again, Justin Fields has been holding on to that ball extremely too long. If there's a trade to be made, honestly, I would prefer Kirk Cousins. If a trade were to be made, if you're not going to start, but I'm like, you got to start Taylor Heineke before you even venture off into that. So this was a frustrating one, fam, because again, Jacksonville was there to be had. You go rewatch the game, the team was very beatable, and we couldn't beat them. So I'm still going to hold on to my 10 plus games. I don't know how the hell they're going to do it with Desmond Ridder though, but because I don't see him getting better. Honestly, I don't. I see regression, but we've never seen the great Desmond Ridder game. As much as we, guys like me said, it was time for Matt Ryan to go ahead and hang the cleats up. My God, how many great games did we see from Matt Ryan? Especially in 2016, 2012. We saw some outstanding games from Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan is a statue. Can't really move. But we saw there were games where Matt Ryan willed that team. And Matt Ryan's last 3 or 4 years, Matt Ryan was overthrowing everybody. But he managed to get Kyle Pitts the damn ball. Now, mind you, Arthur Smith was here. And Matt Ryan was managing to get Kyle Pitts the ball. So part of this is quarterback play. Because we didn't have anybody. Irony is Calvin Ridley left us in the London game. That's when Kyle Pitts got off. So we know what Kyle Pitts is capable of doing, bruh. But you got to put in a guy who's a game dog. And I believe Taylor Heineke gives us the best chance at this point. Because if you go, my honest opinion is this: if you go 2-3, you ain't never coming back. If you go 2-3, it's a losing season. You ain't never gonna get back above 500. That's how important I think this game coming up next week is. You either gonna win 10 plus, or you ain't getting over 500. Now we're gonna see how stubborn and egotistical Arthur Smith is. Because he's all on the TV. He's been on Rich Eisen countless times. Well, your mustache, man, fuck that mustache, bro. I'm interested in dubs. I'm interested in dubs. I don't care about that mustache. It looks good as far as football goes, but we losing games now, bro. And this defense, bro, I'm telling you, man, this man gonna lose the locker room, and it's gonna be Arthur Smith's fault. I'm not putting anything on Desmond Ridder after this game. Everything that happens after this game is Arthur Smith's fault, bro. Because everybody know Desmond Ridder ain't supposed to be in there now. Everybody know it. Not just Falcons fans, Jaguar fans. The world knows Desmond Ridder ain't supposed to be there. Bro, Desmond Ridder at halftime had negative 1.9 points in fantasy. Do y'all understand that? Negative 1.9 for a quarterback. Desmond Ridder will be in the free agency forever in fantasy. In a squeeze. Cats ain't picking up Desmond Ridder. If you had Kyle Pitts in fantasy, I'm sorry for you. Sorry for you, fam. Y'all probably benching Kyle Pitts at this point in fantasy if you got him. Jack says, I'm done with Ritter, but the second pick wasn't on him. It was a two-man route. When you have two linebackers and two safeties and two corners covering two wide receivers, 6-on-2, 6 will win every time. The problem is he threw the ball. That's the problem. He can always, here's the thing, and this is a rookie's mentality. They feel like they got to force stuff in there, and then it go boom, and it go bad. When you look at guys like Jordan Love, and the fact that this is kind of his rookie campaign, but he sat behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. That means something in that offense. So you're soaking up game. You're soaking up how the quarterback prepares. That's why I'm like, if there's a trade to be made, I'd rather go with Kirk Cousins than Justin Fields. Because Kirk Cousins, that man's had some games. He's had some great ones, and he's had a couple bad ones in there too. But we know Kirk Cousins. One thing we know about Kirk Cousins is he's tough, and he's going to get the receivers the ball. And at this point, that's all you need out of a quarterback. Our problem is our quarterback can't get the ball to the receivers. So because of that, our offense is struggling. And we're relying off of a rookie running back. How you relying off of one rookie running back when you got all these? Listen, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Moving on, we have Houston. To me, this is a make or break game. I'm still holding the line at 10 plus games. I'm still holding. This game going to dictate if we win 10 games or not. This is how important this is to me. Houston's there to get beat. Houston is there to get beat. Jacksonville was the day y'all wet the bed. But Houston definitely there to get beat. Bruh, if y'all cannot beat the Houston Texans, everybody on the hot seat, bruh. At this point, I'm going to start looking at Fontenot too. Now, usually a GM got a lot more years than the head coach. But everybody is complicit with putting Desmond Ridder out there. Everybody. Arthur Blank can make a simple phone call. Y'all better put that other boy in there. Well, Mr. Blank, he's got some growing pain. Listen, I'm not paying you for your opinion. You need to put the other boy in there. I got seats to sell. And I'm trying to see another playoff run before I die. Y'all remember, man, Art used to come down to the sideline in the fourth quarter. What going on around here, man? Man used to walk down the sidelines, arms crossed. I need Blank to get some dog in him too. Rich, y'all, any one of these guys up top can make the call. Put the boy on the bench. What Smith gonna do? Buck the system? No. I think if Terry tells him to put him on the bench, he gonna put him on the bench. Period. Because anything else is insubordination, and you getting up out of there at the end of the season. But I think that that's what's needed, because we've seen Arthur Smith be stubborn time and time and time again in his 3-year tenure here. Saw it with Marcus Mariota last year. And he pulled him when there was absolutely no chance of us making the playoffs. None. I ain't never gonna forget that. The man should have been pulled the Thursday night game, bruh. Rolled with him until you knew he was trash the whole season. But we have a quarterback problem we need to fix ASAP, because that one position, that's why they call it the most important position in the game. You can have a great defense. Look at what's happened with New York. Look at what's happening to the Jets. Now, the Jets ain't been absolutely great, but if you're one guy who touches the football every single snap can't get it done. There's a reason why when Aaron Rodgers went down on that fourth play, there was a collective sigh across America. Because we knew at that point, the Jets season is over. Everybody knew that. The only reason they were Super Bowl contenders is because of Aaron Rodgers. Now that he's not there and you put in Zach Wilson, who again shouldn't be starting because he's not ready, you're ruining these quarterbacks by trotting them out there. Ain't nothing wrong with trotting Taylor Heineke out there. The boy game ready. He go out there. Hey, he ain't it either. Okay, we know what we need to do in the offseason. We know what we need to do by the trade deadline. But I don't think it's going to go either way. Here's how I think this is going to go. They're going to start Desmond Ridder next week. We're either going to barely win or we're going to lose. If we lose, he's going to start him the week after. This is how I feel like it's really going to go down. And then people are going to start calling for Arthur Smith's job. And I know 92.9 the game. I can already tell y'all what they're going to say tomorrow. You guys are over-exaggerating. This is only his 8th game, 9th game. What do you expect? To win. You got to give it time. How much time do we got to give it? How much time do we got to give him? Season? 2 seasons? 3? I'm sorry, but that ship sailed the moment San Francisco traded Trey Lance. That ship sailed, bro. Waiting on a quarterback to get right when ain't no there isn't even an illumination that I've seen yet from Desmond Ridder where I'm like, we can work on that. We can work with that. Not one. Like, he's had one throw here, one throw there. Last year, we gave him all the rope he needed because he came in, played 4 games. Right? The problem is there's no jump from last year. There's honestly no improvement. And this was never meant to be our franchise quarterback. So on the sake of going on, defense can't give up another blown coverage touchdown next week, especially next week. Hold the line, do what you got to do, get pressure. We should be fine on that end. Fam, I don't know what to tell you on offense at this point. I don't. I wish there was something positive I can tell you guys. Yeah. Not right now. Especially if they start Desmond Ridder next week. All I'm going to tell y'all is, hey, man, hopefully Bijan can go for 200 yards. I got nothing at this point, bro. Bud Dupree showing up. They're man, listen, the defense I'm not worried about. I mean, they gave up 1 touchdown. 1. Rest were field goals and a pick 6. Jack said Arthur Smith and Steve Sarkisian without the tall sweep. Yeah, well, they better not tank because, yeah, man, I don't believe in tanking when you spent all that money in the offseason and you got more money to spend in next offseason. I don't believe in the concept of tanking anyway. I just feel like, man, there are a lot of disappointed, not only fans, but people that had that. I mean, the offense was supposed to be the highlight of this team. And now people are sitting around scratching their heads. It's like for 2 weeks, y'all have scored less than, 14 points. That's 2 touchdowns. That's 2 tubbies. In 8 quarters? What's going on? Now the eyes are immediately going to go to the quarterback. But this coach is not without blame. And next week, if Desmond is starting, I'll end it on this. If Desmond is starting, every single loss we take after that, everything that happens after that is on the coach. At this point, Desmond Ridder is absolutely absolved from blame because he shouldn't be starting. That's just like when I look at Zach Wilson with the Jets, they're cooking Zach Wilson. But to be honest, he shouldn't even be starting. They shouldn't have even kept him in the offseason. But they did. So that's on the front office. And it's on the head coach for keeping him in there. Because they do got a guy behind him. But they went and signed somebody off the practice squad. God damn it, his name escapes me. I'm seeing his face in my head. So they clearly know there's a problem with that. But at this point, everything is on the head coach. If you start that boy next week, the clock ticks next week if you start him. Now, I know there are people that are like, hey, listen, when Desmond gets hot, don't y'all come back and ride this train and da-da-da-da-da-da. Every time I've heard that, the train never took off. It never took off. Yeah, when this boy starts beating the brakes off of teams, man, I don't want y'all coming back talking about, man, this my quarterback. Well, technically he is your quarterback because he's part of your team. But I'm one of those guys who I don't mind eating crow if I'm wrong. I just don't see it now or on the horizon. I don't. He's not reading defenses right now. He's actually hesitating to throw the ball. He can't feel pressure. It's a lot of things going on with this kid right now, and all those combined just means he's simply not ready to start. There's nothing wrong with saying that, but there is something bad about a coach knowing this kid ain't ready to play, and he's still playing him. When the objective this year was to win games, go to the playoffs. That's where I'm going to start zeroing in on Arthur Smith. And I hate it because the rest of the team has to endure this. So Kyle Pitts probably feels like his talent is being wasted. Drake London, even with a touchdown, probably feels like his talent is being wasted. Mac Hollins definitely feels that way because the boy was about to put hands on the kid. But there is some other blame to go wrong. Lindstrom, you got to get right. McCary, man, that contract's starting to look suspect at this point. But anyway, fam, that is it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's 109. whatever my fantasy roster is, that's what it's going to be. So if I get an L, I'm just going to take it. But yeah, man, hopefully we can bounce back against the Houston Texans. We should, but we'll see what goes on this week, man. I'm definitely going to be on the wire because I'm pretty sure I can get on the internet right now and everybody's probably talking about where the hell's Taylor Heineke. It's Heineke time. So I'll be watching this and we will reconvene next week, fam. Hopefully we're talking about a damn win. Hopefully. But this game is important. It's at home. So, the one positive that we have going is Desmond Ridder has never lost at home. So, I mean, that's the one positive I'm gonna leave you guys with. So with that being said and done, man, you guys have yourself a fantastic Sunday and a fantastic week. And I will holler at you guys Sunday. Peace.